Google just dropped Stitch 2.0, and it's going to change how you build websites forever. Pretty much anything with a user interface, in that fact, and it's completely free. And it just made Figma irrelevant, and it should be very nervous. Their stock literally dropped when this was announced, and I'm not making that up. So I'm going to break down what Stitch actually opens up for a lot of builders out there and how it's going to help you redesign some of those websites and landing pages. Anything with any user interface is just going to look so much cleaner, and why it actually matters for builders like this and how you can start using it today. This changes everything. So Stitch originally came from a startup called Galileo AI, and Google acquired them. It's been around since Google I/O last year, and it was pretty much like a Google Labs experiment. But today, just hours ago, they dropped a massive update, and they're calling it Vibe Design. So if you heard of vibe coding, which if you're watching this channel, you have, I know you have, and Vibe Design is basically running off the coattails of that kind of concept. So you describe what you want, and AI designs it for you, high fidelity, production ready, and it's done in seconds. So before you say it's probably just another AI mockup tool that makes a bunch of AI slop garbage, I'm going to tell you why this is different. This thing actually does really nice design right out of the box with no back and forth needed. With Claude Code and ChatGPT, you're constantly going back and forth and tailoring it. This is kind of built out as you go. So they built an entirely new AI native infinite canvas. So this isn't just like, some general AI slot machine. This is a nice intuitive canvas to build out your actual website. So it's not like generating one screen at a time anymore. You have a full like workspace where your ideas can grow from early sketches all the way to working prototypes. You could drag in images, text, code, screenshots, whatever, and the more context, the better. And then the AI reasons across of all of it. So they added a design agent as well, not just a prompt box. So an actual agent that understands the evolution of your entire project. It remembers what you've been working on. It knows your exact design decisions. And when you want to explore different directions, there's an agent manager that lets you work on multiple ideas in parallel while staying organized. Doesn't this sound a little familiar? That's basically what we do with our AI agents inside of OpenClaw. So Google is kind of adopting that same technology and bringing it over to Stitch 2.0. Same concepts and same design. So the third thing I would say that's big here is this one is probably the biggest of all is they added voice mode. You can literally talk to your canvas. You say something like, give me 3 different menu options, or like show me this screen in dark mode or whatever. It's going to update in real time while you're talking to it. So it's going to help you ship faster. It can even give you design critiques. So like, you're having a conversation with a senior designer, it's basically going to be having that like in your back pocket as you build out your landing page. The interactive prototyping is the next thing I want to touch on. You design your screens, click play, and you can actually click through the flow of the app. The wildest part of all this is like when you click a button that doesn't have a next screen yet, Stitch automatically generates that logical next screen based on what you'd expect to happen. So it's not just designing the individual screens, it's thinking through the entire user journey. This is going to help greatly with funnels. So real quick, before we keep going, if you're watching this and you want to actually build with some of these tools, not just watch videos about them, then you're going to want to check out our community down below, Shipping Skool. We have a full Claude Code course, a full OpenClaw course, and 4 live boot camps every single week where we actually help you get set up from scratch. Like actually set this thing up, not just watch a tutorial and figure it out by yourself. And we also provide one-on-one coaching, so you could book a call with me, we could share screens, and I can help you get Claude Code or OpenClaw running on your machine. That's it, no fluff. I built this community because watching YouTube's only gets you so far. We launched it just 3 days ago and we have over 55 members. You need people around you who are actually building, people who hold you accountable, and coaches who can help you when you get stuck. I'll put the link in the description down below. Get in now before the price goes up. Here's where it gets more interesting for builders is the export option. So basically, you can export to Figma if your team uses Figma. Cool, great. They might go out of business. I don't know. I didn't say anything. But the real power is in the one-click export to Google AI Studio. And tomorrow, supposedly, Logan Kilpatrick just mentioned that tomorrow Google AI Studio is getting a huge overhaul. So you design in Stitch, you click the one button, the AI Studio converts it into a working app, and then design to a live app in under 60 seconds. Their official account posted a demo of this on X. You could go check it out. I'll link it down below. You go from a design to actual running code in a minute. That's crazy. But wait, there's more. It gets even better for people like us. They released an MCP server and an SDK. So if you don't know what an MCP is, it stands for Model Context Protocol. It's basically a way to connect AI tools together. And what this means is that Stitch now plugs directly into Claude Code, Cursor, and Gemini CLI, and any other coding agent that supports MCP. So if you think about this workflow and you describe your app in Stitch and it designs it, you connect Stitch to Claude Code through MCP. Claude Code gets the full design and context and then builds out the actual code. I love it. You ship quick. That's the goal. That's the entire pipeline, basically. From idea to live app, no Figma subscription, no hiring a designer, no going back and forth between design files and code. This is going to be really helpful for people who struggle with design but have great idea. I'll admit, I'm not amazing at design and I'm still learning new things every day. This is going to probably be how I create every single landing page going forward and every website flow. They also introduced something called design markdown file. If you're in the OpenClaw world, you already know what like an agent's markdown file is, a memory markdown file, a soul markdown file, basically the same concept, but for design. It's a markdown file that captures your entire design system, basically your brand colors, your fonts, spacing, components, the whole 9 yards. And it can import and export it between Stitch projects and coding tools. So if you set up your brand once and every project after that starts with your design system already loaded. So I'm going to tell you why I think this is a huge deal for our community specifically, especially for new people getting into this space. I'm running 12 AI agents on the Mac Mini and my entire pipeline and businesses are all automated running 24/7. But every time I need to build a new interface for like mission control, which is basically my dashboard, I had to either design it myself using ShadCN version 4 components and other assets from other websites, which did take some time because, like I said, I'm not a designer. I would love to be someday. I'm still learning. But, I've tried to describe the Claude Code and it just would come out good. I really am going for like more of a professional minimalist look. But this is where I could totally, connect to this MCP and redesign my whole mission control. Just so it's a little bit cleaner and nicer on the eyes. With Stitch plus the MCP, I can just design the whole interface visually by describing what I want via voice and get a high fidelity mockup in just seconds. And then pipe that directly into Claude Code to build it. That would save me hours, like actual hours. And that's amazing. So for people like in Shipping Skool and in the community who are building their first apps and their first website, this is a pretty big upgrade. If you've built with AI before, say you've built a landing page, it looks so much like AI that it's hard to just not have that image burned into your mind. This is going to change every way how we design, so your landing page won't look like AI slop. We're trying to stick out here, not blend in. So that's massive. For example, Fahim, he's in the community. He built an amazing landing page, built a food trailer website that helped him sell out events at $3,000 a night. They are birria tacos, so I understand they're the best food in the world. Colin, built a Chrome extension on the web store. Imagine, if they had this tool when they first started. It would save them hours. You don't need to know design. You don't need to know that anymore. You don't need to know how to code. Stop trying to learn. You don't need that anymore in this day of age of 2026. You'd basically just need to know how to conceptualize the idea you have in your mind and communicate it to the LLM that you're working. That's what Stitch handles. The people on Reddit are already going crazy. On the user experience design subreddit specifically, someone said, it's great to iterate fast and see what sticks. And on the automation subreddit, people are calling it the bridge between design tools and actual code, which basically that's exactly what this is. So the entire elephant in the room, obviously, Google tried to buy Figma for $20 billion about 4 years ago, and the deal fell through because of regulation. So what did Google do? They built their own thing. They got the money for it, and they're giving it away for free. Figma charges $75 per month per edit. That's crazy. Stitch costs zero. And with the MCP integration, it arguably does more than Figma for solo builders and small teams. Figma's stock drop today when this was announced. That should tell you everything you need to know about how serious this is. And I'm sorry if you have Figma stock. Okay, but now I'm not saying Figma's dead. It's not. They're going to pivot. They're smart. Professional design teams will still use Figma. But for solo builders like you and I, for people who are vibe coding their way to a product, Stitch might be all you need. And it's free. I mean, come on. You can at least try it and see if you like it. And it's from Google. So it connects to your coding agents. If you want to try it right now, go to stitch.withgoogle.com. You just need a Google account. And I think, 4 billion people have a Gmail account. So start describing what you want to build and then watch it generate the designs in real time. Then export to AI Studio or connect it to Claude Code via MCP and start building. We're living in a Black Mirror episode right now. This is crazy. We're just like living in a time where you can go from an idea in your head to a live application without writing a single line of code and without designing a single pixel. This is insane. That's not the future, guys. Stop talking about the future. This is now. The future is today. This is it. And if you're building something with AI right now, whether it's a SaaS or a website or an app or whatever, we've got 95 builders that have joined the community in under 10 days inside of Shipping Skool, all building together. We now have 5 boot camps a week with a 6th one on the way. So we're going to meet you where you're at. If you need to jump on a live call to troubleshoot an issue, or maybe you just need to figure out how to install Claude Code and get things going, we're here for you. The Cole Group motto is that we're focusing on hands-on learning, not just having you watch a course and say, all right, thanks, bye. We want to build with you hands-on in these coaching calls and in these classes. So if you want to be around a community of like-minded people, I'll put the link down below and get in before the price goes up, because it will probably later today. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in about an hour.